Welcome to AP Environmental Science. In this video, we are going to briefly discuss some of the ways that we can reduce the impacts of urban runoff. Now, first of all, let's briefly review some of the problems associated with urban runoff, and these primarily have to do with water pollution and this inability to recharge the groundwater. So remember, as that water moves across the impervious surfaces of an urban area, it's going to pick up any sediments, any fertilizers, any oils, or really any other pollutant that's on the surface of the ground and carry it with it into the waterway. Now again, often in an urban area, it's not just moving straight across that hardened surface, it's going to move across that hardened surface until it hits a storm drain, and then it'll go into that pipe, and that pipe will then discharge directly into a waterway. If we look at these diagrams over here on the right-hand side, you can see that prior to development, a lot of the rainfall was able to slowly seep into the groundwater and recharge that aquifer. But after development, that water is primarily going to run off that surface, and that's what we want to prevent. Now, the first way is to increase the amount of infiltration, and that would be by doing something called permeable pavement. And permeable pavement just means that that water can actually move through the pavement directly down into the soil. Now, you have to be careful with permeable pavement because if the water is going through, so can any pollutants as well. So you want to keep track and be mindful of where you are putting this particular remediation method. The second way to increase infiltration would be through planting trees. And who doesn't love a good tree in the neighborhood? So remember, tree roots help to hold soil in place, so that's going to decrease any possible erosion issues. But as those tree roots move through the soil, they're also creating these pathways that allows that water to move down and really saturate that soil and hold it in place. Another method would be this smart growth city design. So trying to intentionally design your city so you are reducing the amount of paved and hardened surfaces. Again, by having more soil exposed, you have more water holding capacity within that city, and you're going to reduce that storm surge. Another method is to increase public transportation, so having bus lanes and mass transit through rail. That's going to decrease the amount of roads that you need because people are taking this common transport, and that means you're reducing the amount of hardened paved surfaces. Finally, the main idea here is to build up and not out. So instead of having a shopping center with a big sprawling parking lot, perhaps build a parking garage that takes up a smaller footprint, adding in housing around there, adding in park spaces to really focus on this dense design. Now, in summary, you should be able to describe some of these causes of urban runoff and a few methods to remediate that or reduce the impact. And again, remember, anything that goes down the storm drain is going directly into the waterway. So be mindful of what you see along the sidewalk, pick up litter, and all of that good stuff. So please send me your questions here. I hope that as you watch this video, you were able to learn something.